Hey guys, it's Brittany here coming to you with a video on how to avoid overeating. It is something that I am currently struggling with, which isn't good because I'm only like almost 6 months out. So I came up with some tips and ideas for how to stop overeating, and I want to give those tips to you and also do them myself. I did not weigh myself today because Mother Nature decided to pay a call. If you're a girl, you know what I mean. It ain't pleasant. Anyway, so next week I'll weigh myself and let you guys know where my weight is. So I personally have been dealing with, overeating, and it's definitely something I want to work on. So let's go over these tips today and work on it together. Okay, so tip number 1 is measure your food. That is very important. Don't put more on your plate than you should. Kind of what I've been doing, I think, lately, because I've been working a lot of mandatory overtime. I've just been super busy. I will come home, I'll just grab a plate, throw some food on it, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to overeat it. I'm just going to eat till I'm full. Well, sometimes I have a hard time judging that, and I end up feeling like I ate too much, and then my stomach hurts, and it's just not a pleasant experience. So definitely measuring your food. So like just using, a general measuring cup. These are measuring cups that I have. They're just a simple little measuring cup. So making sure that you measure out your food, whatever, your vegetables, potato, whatever you eat, as well as your protein. So I have this slimline digital scale that I had actually got this from Walmart. I think it was like $14. So that's two things that you want to use to measure your food is obviously measuring cups and also a scale. Another thing for this tip is try to avoid like sitting near food. Like make sure that you put all of your food away, or don't sit directly by the food, because sometimes you might eat and then you're like, well, I didn't really eat that much, and then even though you might be full, you still see that food there and it tasted so good, so you want to add more to your plate, and it's so easy. It's sitting right there on the table. I mean, why not, right? No big deal. Well, it is a big deal. It's extra calories, extra things that you're adding into your stomach that isn't necessary. So if you can put that food away, even before you start eating, or if you don't want to do that, then go to a different room, go to the dining room, leave the food in the kitchen. Just a different area in general, I think, is going to be very helpful for myself, and hopefully will, be helpful for you. Tip number 2 is to eat from a kid's plate. I do have a kid's plate here. I know, super cute, right? It's interesting when people come over and, they go to get something out of your cupboard and they see kids' plates. Kids' fork. So, you can put like, let's say that you wanted to put a potato there, veggies, and then your protein. And honestly, it makes you feel like you're eating a lot, but you're really not. So kids' plates, or if you aren't into buying a kids' plate, just a little plate. You get those big sets of plates, and it has the big plate and then the little plate. Just use that little plate and you'll be good to go. Okay. And then to go off of that, make sure that another reason to make sure you're putting your food away is so that you don't pick at it. So throughout the night, you're walking by the kitchen, you're like, I'll just take one other bite and another bite and another bite. So yeah, definitely putting food away. And, even if, let's say, you measure out all of your food, you have it on there, but you're feeling really full and you haven't eaten everything, don't feel bad if you can't eat it all. Don't feel like you have to clean your plate. Like, that's always been a thing, like, most people are raised. Like, you need to eat all of your food. You need to clean your plate off. You can't leave the table until you're done eating. Well, we're adults, so you don't have to do that. Put it in the fridge. Have it for tomorrow. It's an extra meal. I mean, don't stress about it, or just throw it away. Don't feel like you have to eat, like, just eat, you know, and it's not good. Another thing is don't drink with your food. I don't know if anyone's ever seen this video, but this was really helpful for me because I wasn't sure I quite understood the whole, like, waiting 30 minutes thing or not drinking with your meal. Well, I saw a video where a guy had a strainer and he had put applesauce on in the strainer. And you see it very slowly dripping out of the strainer, the applesauce. Now, when he poured water in, the applesauce went through way faster. And that was supposed to be the analogy of what your pouch is like. So if you're not drinking for a half hour, it can slowly digest in there and slowly go through. And that's going to keep you fuller longer, which is also going to help you not overeat. Another good thing that you can do is meal prep. I know a lot of people don't have time for that. I totally get it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I try to do it usually on Sundays if I can. What you can do when it comes to meal prepping is you can buy like this big bag of chicken that's like already made, the grilled chicken. You can throw a bunch in there, and then you can just have the already made broccoli, put that in there, and just in a bunch of containers, and you're good to go. And even if, you know, you don't use every single meal, at least you still have those for like any type of emergency, or you come home, you don't feel like cooking, at least it's in there. Let's see here. Another thing that I personally struggle with is I live kind of far away from my job, so I get up early, go to work, and then I usually eat lunch at noon, and I don't get back home until sometimes to 7 or 8. So by that time, I am starving. Like, I am so hungry, and I just want to just consume everything in front of me. Like, I don't even care. And so keeping snacks in your car, cheese sticks, almonds, anything like that. I mean, obviously, the cheese sticks are kind of hard just because of the fact that they can melt. But where I'm at right now in Pennsylvania, it's very cold, so it doesn't matter. Beef jerky could be another thing, depending on, you know, what you're allowed to eat at that point. Another thing is to avoid overeating is eating slow, putting your fork down after each bite. So I'm going to take a bite, I'm going to chew it, yum, yum, yum. I'm going to put my fork down, kind of take a second, and then pick it back up to eat again. Some people count 30 seconds. It all depends on, you know, your preference. I'm not one to really want to sit and think that much about it. So I just going to put my fork down, be done. End of story. Because otherwise I can be a very fast eater. I was a fast eater before my surgery, so trying to kick that habit can be hard. Make sure that you get all of your water in. That's super important. After breakfast in the morning, before I eat lunch, I usually try to get one whole thing of Powerade Zero in, and it is 32 ounces. So even before I eat lunch, which I have my protein shake in the morning, and that I think is 16 ounces. And then I have this before I eat my lunch. So it's very important to make sure you're getting your water in. However you want to do it, whatever flavors you want, just make sure that you're getting it in so that you're staying fuller. That's really important. Let's see. The last thing I have on this list is rewarding yourself for doing a good job. So even if, you know, you're taking it week by week, you know, just trying like, okay, this week I'm going to try really hard to make sure that I put my fork down in between meals. Or this week I'm going to try really hard to have meal preps done. You know, if you do that and you do good throughout the week, reward yourself with something that's, you know, non-food related. Even if, you know, you went to the store and you got yourself like a really cheap piece of jewelry, you know, you go to the movies, something that, that's, you know, you're going to feel good about yourself and you're going to be excited about at the end of the week. And that's definitely one tip that I have. Another thing that I have here, actually, I forgot to show. It's called a meal measure portion control plate. This here, as you can see, still in the package, you can put this on top of your plate. So it has fruit,